Grace's work in The Spectator and see her recommended reading at gracecurleyshow.com.
She's a liar and a mean person. She's a nut job.
Now, here's the millennial with the mic,
Grace Curley.
Grace Curley.
Grace Curley.
Grace Curley.
Grace Curley, host of the Grace Curley Show.
Grace Curley.
Hey, welcome everyone. Happy Friday. It's the Grace Curley Show. This is Mike Crawford. I am filling in for Grace Curley. We have a great show today. A lot of guests. We're going to be covering a lot in Essex County, Haverhill, North Andover, and also have a retired judge, a Massachusetts judge here. Carol Erskine is going to call in later on the show. Right now, to start off the show, we have a live in-studio guest. She is the cousin of Francis Gigliotti. You may have seen a lot of headlines this week and the last couple weeks about what's been going on in Haverhill, Massachusetts. And they've had 3 different police chiefs in basically 3 days. It's been chaos up in Haverhill. And it really all kicked off with the death of Francis Gigliotti. And we have our cousin, his cousin, Becca Wallace, live in studio. How you doing today, Becca?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I know you're a little nervous because this is not something that you're used to doing, but you are the cousin of Francis Gigliotti, who I think a lot of people have seen this story. Some haven't. Your cousin had a mental health episode, it seemed like to me, and then the police approached him, and there was an interaction, and he didn't make it out of that interaction. There was a bunch of police on top of him. Seems like he got suffocated to death by the police. It was like a really unfortunate situation. Attorney Tim Bradle is now representing your family. He's asking for an independent investigation outside of the Essex County DA's office. Like I said, 3 different police chiefs in 3 days. There's also been a death of a police officer since then. The Patrolmen's Association has come out against the police chief that just resigned recently. There's been a lot of things happening up in Haverhill, Massachusetts since then. Can you tell us how is your family doing since this happened with Francis?
So we're holding it together. This is the 3rd child that my aunt has lost in a tragic manner. None of her children went before their natural time, so she is definitely taking it very hard, but holding it together well. I think that she's definitely seeking justice for Francis.
And you have had a lot of support. You have a Facebook group I saw it was over 1,000. I think it's even more than that. Justice for Giga, the Facebook group. How has the public response been for your family in this situation?
So it depends on which way you're looking at it, really. It's 50-50. There's a lot of people out there that support us, especially a lot of people that are from Haverhill. There's a lot of people that knew Francis. He knew everybody, and he was good and kind to everybody. So it really is divided, especially after the passing of the officer that was involved. There's a lot of people that are backing the police and thinking that they didn't do anything wrong. But then there's a handful of people that, say that, you saw what I saw.
Yes.
So.
And the DA's office, your attorney, the family attorney, Tim Bradle, is asking the Essex County DA, Paul Tucker, to recuse himself from the investigation and find someone that's independent outside, that has no outside relationships with the police from Haverhill. Do you think that's going to happen? Have you heard anything from the DA's office? Is the family speaking to the DA's office at all?
So I hope that is what happens. I do think that is something that should happen. It's not really in the sense of like trying to get answers right away, but more in the sense of like, where are we at with the investigation? Because we haven't heard anything since the partial findings of the medical examiner's report with the cause and manner of death. There's not really any transparency right now, is what it feels like. And with everything going on with the police chiefs, the words from the mayor and stuff, it seems like, I don't want to say it seems like they're in cover-up mode, but it feels like they have been from the start. So I'm hopeful that we do get what we're asking for. Yeah.
Let's if I was ask you to give a grade for the Essex County DA Paul Tucker, just like school A to F, and the mayor of Haverhill, what grade would you give them for the response and how they've handled this? Let's go with the Essex County DA first.
Okay, the DA, we'll say C.
A C, okay.
Because I still think that there's work to be completed and submitted, so, it could be plus or minus from there.
He could get a better grade if he actually does some work here for the family.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
And what about the mayor of Haverhill?
I think an F.
An F. Yeah. Why would you give the mayor of Haverhill an F?
It's a lot of just, I don't know. Personally, the thing that rubbed me the wrong way initially with the mayor is she had taken to social media to express condolences for our family. And my aunt is not really on social media like that. And she had written this long thing expressing condolences, but there has been no Haverhill official that has reached out to us at all whatsoever. So there has been no direct expression of condolences.
And what is that mayor's name, the Haverhill mayor?
I think it's Melinda Barrett.
Barrett. Okay. Melinda Barrett. That's right. Yeah, it seems very performative to make a social media post, but not actually reach out to you directly.
Right. So that's where that comes from. I think that that's really just personal based feelings, but it's good to see that it seems that she's taking some sort of action when it comes to investigating the police. But I think again, that in itself, they're all in cover up mode, in my opinion.
And 3 different police chiefs in basically 3 days, it looked like they picked an interim after the police chief resigned, and then he went out on leave as well, and now they've got a new police chief, the 3rd police chief, which it seemed like the Patrolmen's Association does support this new interim police chief, the 3rd pick, really. What do you think about that? Do you have any sense that this new police chief, this interim police chief, might be a little better or not?
I'm hopeful. It seems from what I'm looking at on social media, it looks like they have a lot of It looks like this police chief is getting a lot of positive feedback from the members of the community, but I'm not sure. I'm hopeful. As far as the first police chief and then the second police chief, the fill-in guy that got the boot a day later, I think it's more or less just Haverhill itself. They're exposing their police department and their lack of everything. As far as training, how things are supposed to be going, I think that they're exposing their own selves right now. Ever since the passing of Officer Tully, I don't feel that if she hadn't passed away, if she were still alive, that none of this would be happening right now. I still think that Pistone, I don't know how to say his last name. I still think that he would be in charge. I still think that we would have this silence, no answers. And that's kind of where we are. We still don't have any answers, and it's a lot.
Now, a lot of us have watched the video of what went down that day. Some people haven't seen it, obviously, listening at home here, listening at work. What do you think they should have done differently?
I don't think that it took that many officers to, and let's just remove Francis from the situation and put a different person in there, right? If anybody is having a bad day, a mental health crisis, I will say that I've never seen Frankie in that state ever. Never, ever. He looked lost in a place where he knew he was scared. I've never seen him scared. So I think that there needs to be just better training in the sense of how to deal with people that are having mental health issues and or drug-induced issues, There needs to be something along those lines because Francis wasn't committing any crime. He wasn't doing anything illegal. He needed help. He needed guidance. I don't think that physically restraining him needed to get to that point. I don't think it needed to go that far. I think that maybe 2 or 3 officers, and even then that's a lot, could have definitely gained control of him and without getting him to the ground too, because the videos that you and I have seen from the DA of them, holding him by his ankle as he's holding onto the door and stuff, it's just all of that doesn't seem protocol to me. That doesn't seem right. So yeah, I think that they should have got off of him a lot sooner than they did, to give you the short answer there with that.
Yeah, I mean, it sure seems that way. It seems like a big overreaction, too. Maybe they need a little bit better police training. It seems like mental health is a big issue up in Haverhill, both with how the police respond, but also with how the police have their own mental health issues. Let's just put it that way. I think we're going to take a break right now and come back with you. I want to hear more about Francis, who he really was. So, Becca, I want to thank you so much. I know you're nervous. Is this the first time you've ever been on the radio?
Yes. Very nervous.
Yes.
I'm very much a at home with my kids kind of person, and so this is like stepping out of my comfort zone. But anything to get the attention brought to this case, I'm here for it.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
I want to thank you so much for being here and speaking up for Francis and your family. This is Mike Crawford. This is the Grace Curley Show, and we'll be right back.
This is the Grace Curley Show.
I love that music. Taylor knows how to pick them. That is a great song. Just Mike Crawford, Grace Curley Show. We're still talking about Francis Gigliotti. We also have a poll question today. Today's poll question is brought to you by Howie's new book, Mass Corruption, The Breakdown of Law and Order, the story of Karen Reed, Sandra Birchmore, and many other corrupt events in Massachusetts in recent years. Order your copy now at HowieCarShow.com. Again, order the book at HowieCarShow.com. Click in the store. I can't wait to read this book. Howie's new book, Mass Corruption. That's must read. I think a lot of us who have YouTube shows are probably going to be reading from that on our shows. It's a great Christmas present as well. Taylor, what is the poll question today?
Today's poll question, which you can vote in at gracecurleyshow.com, is: do you support establishing a Harmony Commission to examine how Massachusetts addresses child care and protection cases?
I hope so. If you don't, you probably want to listen later on in the show when we have a retired family court judge, Carol Erskine, who's going to be here later on the show today. She's going to talk all about the Harmony Commission and what that's about. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously some issues in the state of Massachusetts about childcare and how they handle children. It's really kind of a concerning situation. Let's just say that. And I'm looking forward to having Judge Carol Erskine on the show later today. So how people vote on that? You have to vote.
70% say they would support a Harmony Commission.
I'm wondering on those people who are voting no, because I know there's a lot of no voters on everything. Like I vote no on a lot of things on the ballot.
Nothing new. No more committees, commissions.
Yeah.
I'm sure though, if they learn a little bit more,
a
little bit more about it, they'll change their minds.
They'll come around on this one because I think everybody wants to protect kids, right? I mean, that's universal.
Common sense, yeah, absolutely.
So I hope people vote today. Let us know how you feel on that poll question. Again, we also have Becca Wallace. She is the cousin of Francis Gigliotti. And we were just watching, we're watching TV in the studio. And my friend, retired Mass State Police, Todd McGee, is up on Boston 25. And what are they talking about is Haverhill, Massachusetts. Looks like they've opened an investigation on the city level. Mm-hmm. What do you think? What do you think? Because, like you said, you mentioned the death. There was also a death of a police officer, female police officer, recently in Haverhill. Do we have a lot of details on how she died? Because it seems like that story, after the death of Francis, really blew this thing up. Mm-hmm. What do we know a lot about how she passed away and why this has become such a big issue in Haverhill, and especially the Haverhill Policemen's Association, the Patrolmen's Association. They're the union for police officers, and they had an open letter, anonymous letter from a police officer, really lambasting, really going after the police chief, who then put himself on leave and then resigned. What do we know about the death of the police officer, and what do you think they might be investigating here?
So I don't know the exact cause of death with Officer Tully. I do know that it was rumored in the very beginning that she had committed suicide, and which is extremely unfortunate. And that's alleged. That's not a confirmed thing. I don't know if that's true or not, but her family has spoken out on social media to say that she had passed away actually from a stress-induced heart attack. And so I don't know exactly what she had passed from. Either scenario is awful. It's sad, and I feel sorry for their family. Death of any kind, especially before your natural time,
Yeah, she was young
is
too.
extremely unfortunate. Yeah, I actually looked into it. She passed away the morning after her 32nd birthday.
Wow.
So that's got to be hard on their family. That's got to be a lot. And I do feel bad for them, but I feel worse for my aunt, when it comes down to it.
Sure.
But and then as far as their investigation goes, the only thing that I know of is that I did see an article before seeing it on the news earlier that the mayor had called for an investigation of the police, Haverhill Police Department, I believe. And they had said that this has nothing to do, the investigation has nothing to do with Francis's death. But all of this comes from after the police officer had unfortunately passed away, and the father of the police officer, who is also a retired police officer himself, kind of exposed this police chief Pistone on Facebook, from what I could see, and possibly to the mayor of Haverhill. He is accusing the police chief of having a closed door conversation with the 7 police officers, where he barred the Policemen's Association from joining this closed door conversation. And that in itself, that's what I meant earlier by when I said they're kind of exposing themselves. This is all things that we didn't know of until we had seen it online. So
Now, was Officer Tully? It's funny because the last name Tully is the Brian
Right,
Tully and
right.
the Karen Reed trial. Different Officer Tully. This is a female officer up in Haverhill who has recently passed away at 32 years old. Do we know a lot, like in terms of what comes next in terms of Haverhill? You think?
I do not.
No.
Hopefully answers soon. Hopefully answers are to come.
I want to thank Becca for being here. Becca Wallace, she is the cousin of Francis Gigliotti. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
This is Mike Crawford, Grace Curley. We'll be back.